Let's review this trade I took today. Open range break trade. 9:45 begins at 9:45. Guys, this is one of my favorite setup. So I look for this every morning at the open. I go into the 15-minute and I do my pre-market analysis. I do a top-down analysis just to get my bias going into the open. And so I'm going to share that trade with you guys today. But I just want to go over my pre-market rundown this morning before open. So usually I start with a 15-minute chart and I'll go up to the 4-hour. And I'll look for any levels on the 4-hour chart and mark those off. So we've got a resistance level right here. And we've got a support level right there. Right? You see all those wicks, all those touch points. And it looks like we're in price is ranging right now in the middle of a fair value gap on the 14 on the 4-hour chart. That's really all. I go down to the 1-hour time frame and I do the same thing. I look for any fair value gaps, and I see there's one here on the 1 hour. Let me see. I think we've captured everything, and we've kind of got one here, rectangle. So we've got a bearish fair value gap. We see price reversing, touching that. This is at what time? This is at 10 a.m. Did I get this wrong? Okay. So that is at, we're at 9:15. So at fair value gap on the 1 hour, I'm going to clean that up and take this one on the 15-minute time frame instead. That one. And it looks like we've got a real massive gap right there to about there. So those are just my levels going in. We've got a support level down here. We have price bouncing off that level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 5 times in the past. So we're going to keep an eye out on this level going into the open. And what else is on here? We look for any divergence. What are we seeing? Price making higher high. And our Fisher is making a lower high, a lower low. Yes. And let's call this a trend line. So looking at the 15-minute chart at 9:15, we have, guys, this is one of my favorite setup. It looks like a DVG setup, a divergent gap setup right here. We've got divergence, we've got a trend line break, created a fair value gap. We've got price retesting that gap and moving out. You know, like I said, guys, I told you this setup happens on all time frames, right? So we also see that our MACD is bullish. So just on the 15-minute chart, this is what it's looking like. Right now, I'm leaning towards price either inverting this gap that it's in, this big gap. And so if price break to the upside, I would expect price to try and invert this gap, right? So that's my bias. I don't see price breaking above this resistance level, pretty strong level. So with that in mind, guys, that was the bias going into the open. I see price moving upwards, mainly because we're getting a divergent gap set up, right? And we have the MACD that's bullish. So let's jump over to the trade and see how it played out in real time. All right. So we got through the open and through the 15-minute range setup. We've got the upper range and the lower range. And right now price is looking like it's heading to the upper range for a break there. So I'm just watching that. We created a bullish fair value gap. I was waiting for price to reverse to test that and then keep moving upwards. But we'll see how it plays out. It's funny because the midpoint of that 15 of that fair value gap is also the same midpoint of the open range, right? That's pretty strange. So it started to look like price wasn't gonna reverse and go too far into that gap. So I was just getting ready to jump in this open whenever it happens. Keep in mind, guys, at this time I'm also looking at the open range break on the 1 minute as well, right? The 2 minute, you get stronger breaks. Like this wick that you see here would have been a close on the 1 minute, but I like to go in on the 2 minute just because you know you have a better chance of not getting wicked out on the 2 minute. So right there I got in and had my stop below that initial breakout candle. And usually I'm a little bit nervous when there's a fair value gap that hasn't been really properly tested behind my trade, guys. I like those to be cleared. I feel more confident because those are magnet for the market, right? For price likes to go back and fill those out. So right here I wasn't so sure. I got a little bit nervous when the market was coming back on me. But you just gotta trust your pre-market analysis, trust all the signals that you saw going into the open, and just keep the faith that it's gonna be a bullish move. These are some of the most tense moments, guys, when price is between your entry and your stop loss. It can be brutal. You're just waiting and you just don't know what's gonna happen. But again, you just got to trust your analysis. The open range break, you've got a lot of traders jumping in, so sometimes that also pulls price. So you've got a chance to at least break even. If you're not confident in the trade, usually you get an opportunity to break even, but it's all or nothing. You know, I'm starting to find that the open range is all or nothing. You've just got to commit to it and let the trade play out, which is exactly what I did on this trade. Like, look at that. You don't get any closer to being stopped out than that wick right there. Also, something I've noticed with the market, guys, is whenever you get those, look at that, seriously, even watching it back right now is nail biting for me. Talk about stress. You don't get any closer to being stopped out than that last wick. But when you see the market starts to wick out like that real fast, you know it's getting ready to shoot up the opposite direction, right? It's like the market is making one last reach, one last leap to grab some orders, to stop some folks out, and then move in the opposite direction. So once I survived those wicks, those flashing wicks, I knew, okay, we're on our way. You know, guys, I've been working on my psychology lately, and just holding trade is a part of that. And I feel like on this trade, it really shows my growth with just holding and not panicking, staying calm and patient, letting the trade breathe, and giving distance between my entry and my stop. You know, and right there, I jumped, did my break even, and just waited for my TP. Guys, my take profit was right at the top, just before the very last end of that 15-minute fair value gap. I trusted that price was gonna try and fully invert the fair value gap, so I didn't want to go at the very top. I just put my take profit just below the top and waited. And once we started to create lower lows, guys, I moved my stop up a little bit just to make sure I don't leave with nothing in the bank. And there it was, guys. So here you see just a recap, 15-minute. As you saw, price went exactly where that, at the top of that fair value gap. And you know, that was the safest place to put my take profit, to just ensure that the take profit gets hit. So that was the trade, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos, and you know, just keep growing with the channel, guys. Thank you.